Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is anchor Yoyo speaking from Naked News. Today's topic is a bit special. Instead of saying something happening in China, I would like to say something about the States, my personal understanding of US democracy. Before I start, I'd like to let you guys know, for me, it is actually my favorite country. So to make it greater, I guess the best way is to know its problems. And of course, try to find the solutions. And for me, US acts just like the lighthouse for all human beings, because all of the great innovations as well as the creations came from this country on this planet. So if I made any mistakes in my video, welcome to correct me. Now, let's start. So what is the first word came to your mind when you're thinking about US democracy? I guess for most of the people, the word might be polarization, which is also difficult to change. Yes, blue and red party, always these two things. So if you check the ranking list for democratic indicators, you will find the ranking of US is only 25th, which is not very high compared to other smaller countries, which means that US does have its problems. Now, the first problem is the political families. These families and their people always occupy the important seats at House and Senate all year around. These people do not have much pressure when it comes to voting because of the winner-take-all voting system, which means that whoever wins the majority in a state will take all the votes. So the result would be there are only two major parties in a state, either blue or red. And of course, because of the voting system, dark blue state and dark red state will always have winners who can always win, which means that it will be a waste if we want to vote for the third party. So in this case, you will see corruption will be quite easy to be grown. But let's see neighbor Canada, because there is no such winner-take-all voting system. So corruption in Canada, of course, exists, but it's not that obvious. The second problem is the high-tech companies in Silicon Valley. These companies, their employees are quite left-leaning, and they can also manipulate the platform. Some voices on the platform and on their websites could be blocked. Of course, it could be an injury to the democracy. And remember, these companies and their employees are not selected from the voting system, which means that the citizens do not have power to control them, not like the government. Of course, we have newspapers and traditional TV channels to balance and to monitor, but sometimes these companies are growing too fast and too strong. They're also quite rich. They could be much powerful than we thought. The third problem for me is kind of ridiculous. In some states, as far as I knew, sometimes they only require signatures instead of requiring for ID when it comes to voting. Because they think if we ask people for their IDs, then it will reduce their passion for voting. No, actually ID or your passport is a must to prevent fake voting. All right, that's all for my sharing for you guys today, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if I made any mistakes in my content, welcome to correct me. So I'll see you guys next time in my next episode.